everyone, my paper pumpkin kit just arrived, and so I thought we would unbox it together. And this glare should get out of the way as soon as I take this packaging off. All right, it looks like this one's maybe had a little rougher ride in the postage system, but it's still good, and I am sure that all of my contents will be securely packed inside. Oh, pretty. Let me grab a piece of cardstock and show you what's inside. Our stamp set. Wishing you a jolly Christmas, a sweet treat for you, more merry, happy holidays, enjoy with love, and then some different scrolling, a to from, and this super cute gingerbread house. Here's our insert, and it shows us that we can make some alternate cards, I think, because I think these are gift card holders, and so these are some cards that you can make. Our ink spot, Blushing Bride. I was going to bet it would be cinnamon cider, but this is a very nice color. And I like it because it's probably a color maybe some of you haven't played with yet. Ooh, a mint macaron paper. And let's move this out of the way. And again, with the glare, I'm sure it is. I apologize. Let's go ahead and get these things out. I'm already loving what I am seeing. And let me pull this instruction insert out of the back. So it says, we get the gingerbread stamp set, and it lists everything else. It says the coordinating colors this month are Blushing Bride, Calypso Coral, Cinnamon Cider, Daffodil Delight, Mint Macaron, Shaded Spruce, and White. And then, of course, it has our instructions and everything that we need, and those same illustrations for turning these into cards. Oh my goodness. Let me just go ahead and pull these out. Okay, this is tear and tape. It is not the normal full-size roll, but I guarantee you this will last you for a good while. And it's a great adhesive, and so I like that they try different adhesives in here sometimes so that you can have a little trial at home on your own projects. 2 full sheets of the big size, the regular size dimensionals. And then our glue dots. And let's see here. It looks like these are 2, maybe 1 sheet. I can't tell if it's, no, it's 2 sheets. Oh my goodness. Look at the shimmer, and not shimmer, but the sheen on that. They are so glossy. Our little candies in our coordinating colors. I just love those. And then we have our little gift card envelopes, and they are printed on the inside, so that gives us some options there. And then it also has this around it on the front, and that's great too. These would even be great if you wanted to put a gift card holder in a card that you already have, or if you make an alternative and want to have a gift card holder, you could cut this flap off and maybe just put a little tiny bit of a small round circle punch in here and punch that, and then you could still slide a gift card in and out of that, or you could do it on this side as well. And let's see here, we have some little gingerbread houses. And oh my goodness, these are adorable. And let's see, this one has some scalloping on the top. This one has a different kind of scalloped pattern. This one has brick. This one has some stitching. And let's see, this one has dots and they're different colored doors. And then like some tiley on here as well, but the other one had a dot inside it. This one does not. Super, super cute. Here we have outlines, and I'm interested to see how they're going to have us use these. These are punch-out tags in the shape of a house. This has a star punch-out, an archway punch-out, and a heart. And then different kind of candied archways. And it looks like we have several of those. And then it looks like maybe just some blanks of the houses. I'm not sure if this is maybe for the other side. We will have to see. And those would also make some great tags. And then here we have some, I'm not sure if these are stickers or just punch outs. Some different labels or greeting boxes. So perfect. I will be right back. I want to take a look at these and see exactly how they want us to put it together, and then we'll make one together. And I am going to have an alternative project to show you as well. So I will be right back. Okay, let's start first by making one of the tags that Stampin' Up! Has in our kit the way that they intended it to be made. Okay, first let's start out by making one of the gift card holders the way that Stampin' Up! Intends for it to be made. I wanted to remind you that when you get your first Paper Pumpkin order, you need to hang on to your clear block because they will only send it to you once. I will be substituting today. My regular stamping blocks are just a little more ergonomic, and so I have those. I also am using Blushing Bride, but I am going to use my large stamping pad just because that's what I'm used to. And I don't want to open my small one when I'm not ready to use it. I'd rather keep it sealed up. I like to use those for travel and things. Let's start by punching out. You need the one piece of the front of the house that is decorated and one that is plain. And we'll get our stamps. We are going to use the scrolly piece ones. There's one. And here is two. Let me just remind you, especially with our photopolymer stamps, sometimes we can put them on our blocks a little crooked. And so let's just, especially these big ones with some delicate parts, just put them down and let them just fall where they naturally may, and then go in with your block and pick it up. That way it has the natural bend to it that it's supposed to. I want to start out with taking this scroll stamp that has the arched opening. And I always like to take my photopolymer stamps and stamp with them first, just since it's the first time out the gate, and see how they look and how they perform, just to make sure there's no residue from manufacturing on them or whatever. So we're just going to take this, and as best you can, let's see how I want to do this. Let's do this. I'm going to line that dot up at the top. Is how I am going to mark mine, and that's how I am doing that one. And then let's simply take this one on the next one, and let's put it right down here. They're going to be both stamped the same. It just one has a pre-printed image and one does not. We're going to take this stamp and test it as well. And then we have this again, and we're going to come in and just kind of work it around that image at the top, no matter which of the designs that you choose. This just puts some scrolling on it and makes it just pretty. Super, super cute. We're going to take our To From, and I'm just going to put it on. I already have another sentiment on the other side, but let's just do a little practice. And that's just being a little bit messy there, so I just want to, okay, that's better. And then we take our To and From and put it right here in the center of our tag or our gift card holder, whichever you decide to make. You can do either or. Then I have another piece of stamping to do, and that is the sentiment. And I have chosen Wishing You a Jolly Christmas. Super cute. I'm going, this one particularly, I think only fits well in the mint macaron square. We're just going to simply stamp it there. This is, like I said, this color combination kind of took me for a loop. I was not expecting this one. Close that up. Pop out our sentiment. Move these things out of the way. We'll bring in our gift card holder. We're going to flip this over and simply put some dimensionals. You would want one at each of these bottom ones. I can tell you that, or you won't be happy. And I like a lot of dimensionals. And they've been pretty generous with them, so I think we're good on that. Let me bring my Take Your Pick tool and get rid of these backings and just take them straight to my trash can. If you want to, you could put a little bit of glue on these, but I am going to do my best to just line this up around this doorway. Since it's just a gift card holder, not just, but I'm not going to put hours in it. So that is really, really fun. And we are going to do the same thing over here. And I know that, you know, maybe I use a lot of dimensionals, but I do have others in my stash. If you don't, you just might want to be a little bit scant with yours, so you, or count them out. I'm not sure, but if you buy them, they're very inexpensive to buy them. So you always have some extra. And then we're going to bring this and line it up as well. And then we just need another dimensional here for our greeting. And it just sits. You can kind of put it wherever you want to above the doorway. And I think that kind of just depends on whether it's this larger square one or the thinner ones. Okay, if you want to make a gift card holder, we probably should have maybe done this step before we adhered our fronts, but you would simply place your tape here. And I don't really think that it matters whether you adhere it this way or whether you put your flap over the top. I think that's the way it's intended since this has that printing on it. But you could really do it either way. But before you would do that, I would put some of our little glue dots that they've included here on the bottom, just so your gift card doesn't slide out the bottom. And you could, if you wanted to make tags then, you would cut this flap off on your trimmer or with a pair of snips, and you would cut these apart too. And then you simply would just use a hole punch and put a little hole in it somewhere and put your ribbon or your cording through there. So I think that is really cute. I think I'm going to go ahead and turn this one into a gift card holder. I'm just going to take a little bit of this tape, put on the flap of our gingerbread house. And I am actually just going to, instead of using the dots because they take more time and I have more tape like this, I am simply just going to put a little piece of tape right in here and close it the same way. So let's just remove our release paper on both of those pieces. And then we can just fold that down. Make sure that's really folded nice and flat before I close it. And the same with here. And it's very generous for you to put your card in there. There's quite a bit of room. And we can also add some candy gems if you would like to. I think I am going to save mine for cards, but that is totally your choice to do with those as you wish. And then here's our little envelope, and that simply slides down in. Isn't that cute? I really think that's cute. I wanted to do an alternative project for you as well. And I want to bring in our envelope. And we're going to just barely get the sides of this with our trimmer. Just enough to cut off that edge. We're going to do it on this side as well. And then that just opens right up. And if you missed a little bit, you can just tear it. I want to take that off the bottom for this design. And let's cut the white excess off as well. And I would like to cut this flap off. And so if you were using this front part, you could just simply trim it a little closer or be a little more aware of how you're cutting it for this side. But I just wanted some of this paper. I want to bring in our cinnamon cider. I made a card base out of that. And today, this is new to me. I got the Whisper White pigment ink stamps or ink pad. It comes uninked and then you add ink to it. I like to show an alternative project that you can use with some of the supplies from your kit. And then if you are my Paper Pumpkin customer, I will email you a card that you can make when your supplies are gone, but you still own your stamp. So I wanted to show you that. Now this ink is a different kind of ink than in our regular pads. It's thick. When you put it on here, it's kind of almost like pudding, to be honest. I am going to take this. I want to start with one image in the center, And this may go off the edge, but I am really okay with that. I'm just going to make a pattern along this bottom edge. I want to bring in another, just a square I have of the cinnamon cider, because that is really, when I thought they talked about gingerbread or whatever, that's where my mind went. We're going to stamp our house, and I'm just going to kind of give it a little rub while I hold that still. Oh, that's so adorable. I like to show you what you can do with the supplies. I like to show you what you can do by adding a few additional supplies. We are just going to fussy cut out this house. I think that this kit would also work back, and you could use it with the Trimming the Town stamps and dies, and maybe make yourself a little gingerbread village. That might be kind of a fun thing to do with the kids on a cool afternoon. We're just going to finish this across the bottom. I also want to take this piece and I want to flag it. So I am going to cut down about as far as I want it to go. Trying to see which edge is easier to see it on. It might be easier to do it on this flip side. But that's what you just cut a hole in this, or cut a line in the center, and then you just go from the corner, and it doesn't have to be perfect. But you just go down to where those points meet, and there you have a nice flagged image. Of course, we have punches that will do that for you as well. This is kind of wide, so that's why I wanted to do that. Just trying to think here of how I'm kind of designing on the fly here. But I think that makes it kind of fun too. I'm going to bring this back in. I think I want to do sentiment. And I just have a scrap piece of white. We could even use the back of our envelope that we cut off. I just happen to like the cardstock better. Let's just put that here. Use that Blushing Bride again. And I have our punch here that I am going to use for this. It's great for these narrow greetings, particularly in a font that's not like a scripty font. It works better. You don't have as many swirls and loops to go through. But this is Happy Holidays, and I'm going to punch that out. So let's start. I don't think that this is a type of cardstock that you would want to pop up, just because it's not very thick. And I am just going to go around these edges here and place that on our card. And if there's a little excess hanging over here, we'll trim that up when it's done. I would like to take our dimensionals and just put them right on this house. I'm going to even scooch that one up really closely to get it towards that chimney. And I'm just going to actually use my fingers today here to get these off. I am going to take the time to put a little bit of glue, just since this is a card that's going through the mail, not like a gift card holder that I would be just handing to someone. But let's see here. I think I want to center this between these two designs, but flush with the bottom of our stripe. And where should I place this? I'm going to show you, we have mini dimensionals, but if you don't have any, don't waste these. Just take your snips and cut off a strip. If you need some for just a small area, you can cut them in half, but I refer to these as the bones, and I think that it's a good way to use up some of your supplies. We're just going to put that on there. And then it's about the same actually as that house. So I might just even hook it up there just a little bit over top of that and have that there where it says Happy Holidays. And I am going to use some of our little embellishments. And I just need to decide if I want to put them over here or if I want to put them over here. I feel like they could be a little lost over there. So I think I want to put them here. And let's just trying to scooch this around and center it without pushing it down. Let's get one of our Blushing Bride on there since we used our Blushing Bride ink. And let's go with yellow just to be a little bit different. Oh, fun. I like that. I think that's really a cute little card. I hope that you learned something today on the video and that you enjoyed making these two projects with me. As always, remember to be kind, send a card, and do something creative. Bye-bye.